Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend.
Welcome everybody to Golden Guys. It is Thursday now. We are back and I'm in another location. This is my new office I'm working on right now. Really happy to have everybody here. Knights will be joining us shortly. We're back, having a good time here. Just waiting on a few things. Let me introduce the panel where we're going here. Lewis, you're going first today. How are you, buddy? How are you, Your Highness?
Man, I'm doing all right. Doing good.
I know you have some show and tell. Do you have it ready?
I do have some books. I do have some books over the last few weeks, months, or whatever. I've just been kind of picking up little things here and there. So
they're not so little.
Are we leading off? Are people out?
No. We still have to do the. We're gonna let's get this guy down here.
Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, good.
How are you, Diaz?
I'm good. Yeah, I feel like we haven't done a show in a minute. I'm excited about tonight's topic. I guess what we're gonna do. It's a little different than what we usually do. I guess. As far as like comic wise with me, man, I haven't really bought anything except like a Dave Stevens Copper Age book and some random Star Wars posters. I don't know. I've been kind of like in selling / consolidating mode lately. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything that I'm going after or buying, but I'm still looking around. And, it's just a matter of time before I check out the next Comic Link auction or Heritage or something. And then it pulls you back in, so. But right now I'm just sort of like chilling and moving some books and consolidating. And that's what I've been up to.
Oh yeah,
you're keeping that you're keeping that gunpowder dry, as they say.
I am keeping the gunpowder dry, and I've got a pretty half full barrel of it at this point. So I'm going to try to keep that going until I lose my cool and go nuts in an auction on something. That's what always happens. And nuts for me is like a $5,000 book or something, and that'll tide me over till the next auction. So that's usually how I do it.
That's your fix. Okay, good.
That's my fix.
I myself, I'm doing two other projects right now. I'm a competition shooter, so I've got some guns I'm building right now. I'm actually building my first ever competition style gun. So I'm waiting on a lot of parts, and I'm going to the range tomorrow with my wife because she shoots all the time too. And I'm going to test out the base model that I have, which is I know how to shoot this thing and I know how to play with this thing. But I'm just I started to make some changes, and every time I make I don't make all changes at once. I make one change, throw 25, 50 rounds through it, do another change there. So and I have a 3-gun tournament in April. I've got to travel to, and so I'll be doing that. But I am comic buying, and I redid my office just so you know that I will be broadcasting from that corner soon once I finish over there, and that's some of the artwork there and comics that are on the floor will be on a shelf once the guy over Lewis tells me where he got those 6 shelves behind him, because he's been hoarding that to himself, and he told me IKEA, and I don't believe his Swedish ass. I'm not going to get any meatballs. We even have an IKEA in this town? I don't even know.
No. I think they're actually the shelves that I have around. I got obviously some behind me and some off to the side, and I have some others. Seems to me I did grab them there, and then I think there was another vendor that I picked up some, because some of them actually have
right?
groove. Yes, some of them I like because they have a little bit of a, like a beveled groove that kind of runs that the book actually can kind of sit in.
That's what I need, the bevel. Because I got statues I want to put on it, and they're pretty reasonably wide. So right there.
Yeah.
Swedes build some damn good things. Yes, they do. Swedes build some damn good firearms too. Sweet Tower. in the U.S. in New Hampshire. Okay, so what else is going on? Before we get into our topic and introducing and doing our show and tell, we're going to wait for Mike, Knights of Old. Shout out to the Collector Summit. It'll be a Golden Guys fiasco, I think. Diaz will not be there, but we'll be there in spirit. We are going to I'm going to try to get a big cutout of him and have him sit with us.
Oh, nice.
Because we plan on doing a show up there. I got to reach out to them and say, hey, we'd love to do a little on-site show from there, introduce some people. It'll be fun. I'm excited to get to a con that my favorite style of con. Small, expensive, trading material, guys that love stuff. That's it. I'm not the biggest fan of the big New York, San Diego C2E2, but I'm there. So what else?
Yeah, to me, it should be a good time, just swapping books or whatever. I'm kind of one of those that I enjoy cons, but at least me personally, like I don't need to see. I mean, after a while, like I don't need to see everyone like in spandex and dressed up as Deadpool. But I sort of like the trading, talking, dealing with comics. But hey, those cons are there for multiple different types of folks, so I get it.
Oh yeah.
But this particular event, I think, should be a little bit more low key.
Yeah, and I think part of the impetus or motivation for doing the Collector Summit from some of the guys I know that were involved in setting it up and bringing it to fruition is to have exactly what you're saying, Louis, to have a con that doesn't have all the other, ancillary stuff around it. It's just comics, and it's just like heavy duty, serious collector comics. It's not any other stuff that you get at cons. I think that's part of the reason of what this is supposed to be, is just focused down to like collector, investor grade type comics. So yeah, it should be fun. I wish I would be able to be there, but I've got a lot of stuff come up this summer. I'm also not a fan of flying, and if this becomes a yearly thing, I will be there for some of them, but I'm not going to be at this one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some pictures from you guys and some updates, and yeah, it's going to be
Night,
fun.
are you planning on going to the Collector Summit in Bellevue?
When is it?
The weekend, May 28th, 29th.
Probably.
Louis and I already booked it. I know Jeff is going for sure. If you guys want to help me reach out to the organizers and tell them the Golden Guys are going. Even DS will be there in spirit. We'll put his face. We'll bring a cardboard face. Oh, we'll wear shirts with his face on it.
I'll bring my laptop, and you can be here there like.
No, it'd be like a metaverse DS.
Yep.
Metaverse. Yeah. We'll create an avatar for you.
Yeah, it's only 20 minutes from my house, so I can't.
Flowing hair.
Yeah, I'll bring some books, and I can sell them as NFTs over the Zoom screen.
There you go.
And we can add that whole new dimension to it.
So before we get into show and tell, some CGC news. I've heard from some people recently about the turnarounds have slowly starting to catch up. I've heard some good thing about the quality, but I think this is one guy who just has a little bit of pull and got what he wanted back because he was what he was grading. I will say he was grading 3 of the top 10 desirable comics of the Golden Age superhero level.
So, yeah, so you're getting special treatment on those.
Absolutely.
Which is deserved. But look, CGC, they got all kinds of problems. I've always been a big fan and supporter of CGC and a customer of CGC exclusively. And I'm not so much as on social media, I would go to bat for them in discussions. And they got overwhelmed with volume, and they just let certain things slip. And it's noticeable to the whole community. And I have not submitted anything. I think I sent my Avengers in back in for like it cracked out and it got sent back in. But other than that, I don't want to send anything. The quality control issues. Yeah, turnaround time's getting a little better. I know they've hired a ton of people, but I mean they're still too high, and it's the quality control issues, the communication. I just do not have the confidence in them to send off rare, valuable stuff right now.
Right. Now, the second part of my thing was I have switched to CBCS more recently. I have to re-up my account at CGC, and I kind of said, let's take a break.
Yeah, I have quite a few books that I would like to send in to be graded. I don't have any personal I mean, I don't have a vetted interest financially or otherwise with either firm. I will say that, like it or hate it, CGC still probably has a bit of a premium on the market. So
Yeah,
your books do have a premium with the CGC versus the CBCS. Now, I don't know if that's fair or deserved, but that is accurate. I mean, I think that is a fair guess. So unfortunately, I would still probably go the CGC route. I mean, I don't know. There's just something about having to send something off and you don't know if you're going to get it back in like 6 months or more.
yeah. If your book, it's like if your book can make it through the obstacle course unscathed, you're good because it's obviously better than a CGC holder. But it's like, I don't know. It's like walking. It's like when you see these nature shows in the savannah or Serengeti or something, and all these wildebeests have to go across the river, and there's no way around it, and they have to go into the river, and it's loaded with crocs. It's like that's how I feel like sending my books to CGC right now. Like I just hope my book are not the ones that get hit by the crocs. But if you can get across the river, you're good. But there's just too many crocs in the water for CGC. And you know what sucks? CBCS. I like CBCS.
I like them.
Holders are not as good. They don't hold up in the market price as good, but I'd still use them. But man, this is a golden opportunity for them. They're not taking advantage. Like their customer service sucks. You can't get responses or in touch with anybody, and you call and you don't even get a person in the United States that is there to look up stuff. They're slow to respond, and their turnaround times have been smashed lately too. So it's like CGC is still the best. It's sort of like a rising tide lifts all ships. Well, a sinking tide is dropping all the ships. And yes, CGCs is still on top, but everything has just dropped down lower. I don't want to use any of them right now. It's fine. There's enough slabs already out there to deal with. I'll just.
Yep. I was just talking to somebody because they were like, you have all those great books you want to slab, or that you should slab all those books. You would, Submariner 1 and all those books. I'm like, you know what? I don't have to slab them because I'm not spilling anything on them. They're in fine condition. They've been in poly bags since 1968, 64, 61, 52, 44. They haven't been damaged. If I wish to display them or sell them for trade them away, I would get them slabbed at that point because you get more value added. And any books I choose to sell, I go to CGC. My thing about CBC, and I think I talked to CGC, I'm going to re-up for a discount, but the discount I'm getting is just because I've had some business dealings with them on the side, but it's not a big discount, and it's no like any rush. But CBCS, I kind of like. I say this: I have the integrity factor of CBCS is better. I wish there was a grading company, or wish that a division of a grading company will focus only on non-signature series or non-books that have been out on the shelf for 13 minutes. That's what's that was my big complaint, saying you need to put up a timeline saying we are not going to start to slab this book until it hits it. The fact that there are pre-orders and they are queued up, ready to go with 200 copies of first appearance of air conditioning in a Batman book, air conditioning repairman in a Batman book. It's absolutely out of control. Anyway, that was my little rant.
Well, but there's two issues. Let me just say this. There's two issues with what you're saying. I completely agree with you, JD. But one is that there's so many new people in comics, and it's such a hot market right now that people are sending in everything, and 90% of it doesn't deserve to be slabbed. It's worthless dreck. I'm sorry if you're into that. This is a Golden Age show. So whatever. But so you have so many books going in there, but also from CGC's standpoint, like we're sitting on the outside critiquing companies that we use. If you are CGC and you're looking at the situation, the older books is an ever dwindling supply of raws, and new books is a constant steady supply of submissions. So if CGC loves modern submissions,
They absolutely
because
do.
there's always more modern books coming out. It's a steady stream of income for them, and they have signature events all the time. That's a steady stream of income. So going forward, like the future of them, they have to include all of this crap that we hate, because that is a steady stream of income going forward. Whereas the older books, if every time one gets slabbed, it's gone and out of circulation as a raw. And there's a dwindling supply of old raw books. So there's not much future in that for them compared to the new modern stuff hitting the shelves every week and the signature events. So
I just want to
know doing that, but I don't know. I don't know. Look, I don't have the solution, and I don't have to have the solution because I'm just a dude sitting here on Thursday night. I can just make criticisms, and I don't really care. So I don't have a solution. I just know that things are fucked up, and that's it.
Yep.
It'd be interesting to see if there's ever like a pie chart. Has anybody ever seen like a CGC, like a pie chart? Just whatever, pick a number. There's 1 million books that get graded. Like, what's the percentage that are golden age, or what's the
5 to 10% according to them on the phone.
Yeah. So
5%. Oh, excuse me, 5% silver and gold.
Okay.
5% silver and gold. Currently, their current model is 78 to 85% books post 1990.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's so many more of them, and there's new moderns coming out all the time. So from 1990 on to the present, and every Wednesday being added, that's where they're making their money, and that's where the future of their business profits lie. The older stuff, I feel like, they're doing it as almost, I feel like they're doing it almost to maintain their status as the top grading company. But otherwise, I think they would prefer to just dump that and just go with the modern and signature events.
Yeah,
and make money off that. It sucks for us though, because I want to send a couple books in. I don't want to wait, 8 months and hope that they don't get trashed or dinged and don't have, particles of plastic inside the case or whatever. So it sucks.
Just do walkthrough.
Yeah, I know walkthrough, but I mean, something like, Adam Age War Book is not valuable enough. We're going to pay 50% of the book's value for a walkthrough. It's not worth it.
Although, couldn't you, if you overvalued it, I feel like they'd still do it walkthrough because they're like, man, he's paying.
Yeah, they would. I mean, do you want to pay 50% of the book's value? not all the Golden Age books that I want slabbed are worth $5,000. There's some that are worth $500. I don't want to pay $150 to get a $500 book slabbed.
How much is it now anyway?
Well, it's like more than
a regular
150 minimum
or something.
It's 150 minimum.
I mean, it seems to me, honestly, the elephant in the room is probably that there's probably a market out there for some group to create a grading services for specific like silver or gold, and then just say, hey, we don't deal with the moderns, or for CGC to create a division or a separate departments that handle, hey,
that's what I wanted.
Yeah, we will handle these books, go here, and all the modern stuff goes elsewhere.
Also, Lewis, I said, instead of paying all these people $15 an hour to grade, a new book that comes off the shelf, pay a couple of the experts $45 an hour and get them in there and have 5 specific people or 4 specific people taking care of silver and gold. Now, the only reason I put silver and gold together in this one is because that's what should be graded. I'm not saying bronze shouldn't be. Bronze absolutely should be too for some good ones. But you're not going to break any hearts by, at least my heart, you're not going to break it off. You're saying, we're done with this ASM 300 grading.
Actually, though, if you
lose tons of money.
If you let this play, I think if you let it play out long enough, I think at some point the modern stuff is going to be people are going to be like, oh crap, this stuff isn't worth anything, or it crashed. Like, to me, if there's like a bubble where there's just so many of it going on, I mean,
I don't know. Because
the world's never going to run out of suckers. That's the problem.
But I'm just saying that, like, I don't know. I mean, you could be right. I'm just saying, like, sometimes the hype, everybody trying to, go get these variant off the shelves or the store,
not even variants anymore. It's it's books that would be $3.99 or whatever the new price, $3.99, and I forget what book it was last Tuesday or something. The comic shop, it debuted. They put out the $20 price, and people were complaining, and I'm like, I'm not. I mean,
well, look, put this in perspective.
You're complaining because they marked it up, but they look at eBay and why did you want to buy it? I've never seen you buy a single issue of that in your life.
The ASM 300 has over 20,000 slabs, and whatever they've charged, and they're still coming in like crazy. If you look how many each month are getting slabbed, there's still a steady stream of ASM 300s getting sent in. It's well over 20,000, I think, for ASM 300s. For perspective, the most submitted Golden Age book of all time is like Mad #1, and there's like 500 total or something. So the ASM 300 has yielded more money to them than probably the top 75 Golden Age books of all time being submitted. If you took the top 75 Golden Age books of submissions ever and added them all together, that's less than just ASM 300. I mean,
right, quantity wise, but I wonder what the cost. Well, I don't know.
I mean, the probably ASM 300 is probably ahead of it because not all the you get the Golden Age, you get down. I mean, even Mad 1 in low grade's not worth that much. ASM 300 and 9.0 is probably worth more than that. But I mean, ASM 300, there's tons in the 9.0 and up, and those have always been expensive. Even like 5 years ago, it was $400 for like a 9.4. It wasn't cheap, and you're looking at like whatever the Golden Age book that's probably like 20th or 30th on the Golden Age list is probably not worth a ton. The grades it's getting are probably 2.0 or 3.0, and it's probably a couple $100 anyway. So I would guarantee value-wise, submission profits, ASM 300 is like a major profit maker for them for books. That outdoes all the Golden Age stuff that comes in, just ASM 300. And that's just one book. And you throw, if you ASM 300 and Hulk 181, add those together, that's worth more to them than, I don't know how far you'd have to go down the Golden Age list, probably hundreds of Golden Age books. You would need the top couple hundred Golden Age submissions to even come close to those two books.
I guarantee you the entire run of Atlas didn't get that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you got 20,000 for those two books is 40,000 times whatever the average submission fee is.
I would throw Fiction House up there, but there's a
figure average of $50.
Yeah.
So you're, 40,000 times 50 is like what, $2 million?
Salute to the Pac North.
It's $2 million in fees from those two books. So of course they're not focused on the older stuff. That's not where they're making their money. But there's ways to do it. But look, companies are not incentivized to adapt or change unless their pressure is put on them by competitors. That's how the free market works. Competition pushes everyone to be better and to adapt and to improve. And until that happens, nothing's going to change. CBCS is wasting.
He did not invent grading. CGC didn't invent grading. They perfected it from their point of view, or they became the best. They were the best for a while. I mean, CBCS came along, but the first one fell apart. The second one took over and has made, they made good strides, CGC, in fixing their slabs, making better slabs, much better than anybody else. And their quality control aside, the quality of the item is good. I just think, like we keep saying here, it's time that we want our own slabs for silver, gold. Maybe you can put your Hulk 181s in there and maybe put a date 80, 85, 88. Pick a book and pick that. Take ASM 300. Anything before ASM 300 goes to this new company, and everything after ASM 300 goes somewhere else.
Honestly, I'd rather have. I would want a company that does from like anything from 1963 and prior. That's one group of books to be graded because that's the rare, vintage, valuable stuff.
Glazed donut beer.
Once you hit 1964, the numbers go up significantly, and then once you get into bronze, it's off the charts, and after that, it's just insanity for the numbers available. So 63 would be like my cutoff. 63 and prior would be a grading company that I would want that only does 63 and prior. And you'd have to structure the company differently. You can't just charge fees based on the value like what CGC does, because there's not enough supply coming in. You have to offer, special type of cases, special type of, like maybe a raw high quality reproduction to go with it that you can enjoy and read it. Like maybe turn your book into a high production, high quality reproduction for you, or offer you some other benefits or little other things. You'd have to structure it differently, and that's what I'm saying. You have to adapt to do that, but you're not going to incentivize to do that with any competition. CBCS is wasting this golden opportunity, which is passing them by. At some point, they're just going to be. There will be a chance.
Call Tom Beckett and get him on the phone and tell him to get his shit together.
My only opinion on it is not to keep this going. We can move on to get into our golden age discussion, but would be it's always interested me or kind of bugged me in the fact that two things. One, I always think golden age and certain rare books that are a little more fragile, they deserve a little bit more care than that of the book that came off the shelf. And two, is it ever dawned on you that a golden age book that's potentially worth tens, hundreds of thousands has the same slab as the Spawn one that just got, that I'm like, I don't know. It just seems to me that given the value of some of these books now, that and to me, I would pay more if there was
slabbing that Batman Dick book.
Yeah,
the Batwang book. People were slabbing that shit, and you could drop a brick on it and not bend it.
Yeah. So if there was a division or an area that had returns, people that knew and it's what they did was in those antique books. And granted, I recognize that would time is money. The product, I think that's fine. I've always, there was something always to me that I got, again, the slab and the time that they took the slab, it was the same for books worth 100,000 or more than just the Spawn one that's worth, $45. But I'll be quiet. We probably got to get on a golden age. People probably out.
Yeah, well, we got to do the show and tell part. So let's go.
I'm showing this record.
Knights. Let's show that up first. Hang on.
Look at this.
I do love my vinyl. I have all
Voltron's greatest hits.
Yeah,
I like it. The best of Godman.
You wouldn't know there'd be a whole record with on Voltron songs.
Oh,
but check out this centerfold.
Man?
Is my this is Voltron or Go Lion as they say.
Yeah, Go Lion.
And but check this centerfold out, baby.
That's pretty cool.
Did you get the Voltron Lego? Like I'm a Lego collector a little bit themselves.
I didn't know.
Oh man, yeah, you should have picked that up. That looked pretty cool.
I mean, it's cool, but Legos are expensive.
They are. They're a little bit pricey. I know.
All right, Lewis. Diaz, do you have anything you want to show?
No, I picked up 3 Star Wars posters from 1978. They were Procter & Gamble promotionals, and I just
that's right, the Pepsi.
Cool.
The
Procter & Gamble. Yeah, and they're still in the tube that they arrived in because I'm going to break them out and hang them up, and I'm about to tear this room apart. So
this is my original art, but I do have some new original art coming. I'm real excited about getting all that stuff done. My movie posters are going to go in the theater room because that's what my wife says. Put the movie posters in the theater room. Take your art out and go hang it up.
I like movie posters as well. Yeah.
Yes, you do. You ready?
Yeah. Let's
Here we go.
Everybody
watch this. All
right. I got the camera here. All right. So I haven't been on in a little bit, so I thought I'd show everyone out there like a few pickup items. So let's do this. So a couple of them I've got just from some different folks in the community here and there. I also got some heritage wins. So I apologize. I'm not trying to advertise for heritage, but there's a sticker on this one. So again, as people might follow me, I do like a lot of Ace books. I like the Super Mystery one line. So here is one in particular, and I apologize for the glare on my.
Oh yeah, nice.
So this particular one is actually number 2 in the run, and again, I know we always keep saying this, but it is a little more of a tougher one to find, at least I believe. Now maybe it's just simply it's tough because I'm looking for it, but I don't know. But anyhow, I mean it's I don't know. I think they have this listed as maybe a good or something or fair. But anyways, it was an auction win. I was, again, I'm very happy to grab it. I mean, this is one, again, I love to get slabbed and get it out of the plastic. But for now, I'm just kind of hanging on to it.
Good.
So another one here, not quite as rare, but again, not seen all the time either. So I kind of like Adventures to Darkness.
Love that one.
Yeah, that's a cool title.
Nice.
Yep. So again, I always thought it was, kind of a neat book. I'll keep on keeping it.
The colors on that Super Mystery, I want to share right there. Sean, Jambo said it as well, and Sean and Lee said it. I was really, when you showed me that, I was like, the one thing that I said, I don't see that color quality that good. That's really good.
Yeah, it has bright reds and the yellows, and it's a sharp looking book. So the next one here, again, here's a book that I know I'm a little bit long winded, but bear with me, folks. So this next one here, I do like. Again, I like some Harveys, and there's one that we always have books that we've seen, never seen in person, and weirdly enough, 2 of these books have came up for sale, and I hadn't seen any for sale in years. And 2 came up within a tight time frame back in December and just recently. So I got the little bit lower. This is, I think, the only restored copy of a book that I own. But again, I was okay with it. So it was a speed.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You've been looking for that forever.
I have. Yes. And there's another gentleman in the IG community, good guy. He actually picked up the 3.0, so I was happy for him as well. At the time, I was like, well, I want to make sure I try to grab one of them. And so, this one here obviously has a little bit of color touch and piece added. But I was, ever so often, I know we talk about, buying restored, not buying restored. I kind of soften a little bit on some of these books, to be honest with you. It's like, I don't want to. I mean, some of these books are just so tough to find that I don't get all that upset about having a restored in that particular one. This next book, again, another gentleman in the IG community, good guy. He was kind enough. He was in the process of just kind of moving a few books. He doesn't really hardly sell. But I was really excited he was able to work out a deal with me. So hopefully we'll meet up soon and get him a drink. But anyhow, Fun Comics number 44.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
That's one of the best early
Look at
ones.
the red on that. Look at the red on that, man.
Yeah, no, it's an awesome book. I'm actually having
Very nice.
I'm actually having some artwork done. It might take a few months for the guy can get the commission to be done, but I'm actually going to have some like a recreation art. Might take a little liberties, and then I'm going to kind of have this near it. So again, kind of big plans for that one, but that's definitely one I've always liked. And
who's the cover artist?
I believe it's Craig Flessel. The cover artist is Craig Flessel.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. It's got Jerry Siegel and Bernard Bailey and Bob Kane and Bernard Bailey art. So
pretty good. It's a pretty good group.
Yeah. Bob Kane was.
Yeah, I love those the early Morphons and the new adventures where they have these really awesome scenes of battles with animals in the elements.
Yep.
It's such a cool theme, and they're like, I don't know, gallery paintings. I feel like they should be hanging in a gallery of Americana art. You know what I mean? They're just so striking.
Stealing my thunder for our next session.
Yeah, they have some of those new adventure. I like some of the oceanic water. I mean, so I've got some art in the house. So certain books I like to try to find, but a lot of them, like they're on a raft or they're going through a storm. Yeah. There's like whales. Like I kind of dig all those.
Yeah, those are good. I like the ones that are like cold foreboding scenes in forests where guys fighting off wolves with the back of it, swinging his rifle at them. Those are always cool too.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes they're fighting bears and stuff. Yeah, cool stuff.
So here's kind of an awful book. You ever have like a book out there that you just see? It's like, I think it's kind of cool. I'm gonna throw a bit on it, and like, holy crap, I won, right? So again, So
yeah, that's cool.
So again, kind of an off the wall. I wouldn't say it's anything I would normally collect. This I got two more, or actually just one more. So then this next one here, again, gentlemen in the community, which I think we all know. I'd always like this particular book, and for whatever the reason, I do think it's not the most common in the run, but so
Yeah, that's cool. I saw that book, not that particular copy, but I saw the first time I ever saw that was a few years ago on eBay, and it popped up. And at the time, I think it was like, I don't know, $4 or something for like $250 or something. So, and even then I was thinking to myself, man, this is such a cool book. I should buy it. And it was back before I had the trigger finger that I've developed to have now, where I just don't screw around. I'll just, shoot now and ask questions later. But back then, I waited for like 5 minutes and it was gone. And I'm like, yep, that was a good one. And that was the first time I'd seen it. I thought it was so dope when I saw it a few years ago. So congrats. That's a cool book.
Yeah, no, appreciate it. Yeah, it's there's a couple that in that run, and I don't know why that one seems to be a little on the rarer side, but it seems like it. But again, maybe it's a case where if there's a book you're looking for, it always seems to be rarer, right? I don't know. Maybe it's
I don't know. A Fight Against Crime, that whole title, there's quite a few in there I don't hardly ever see.
Yeah,
of course, Funny is the big one everybody looks for, but you don't see that one very often either, of course.
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a few in that run you don't see.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm sure because the publisher was Story Comics. I think it was. Story was the publisher, which is. I mean, if I had to guess, certainly wasn't as distributed as widely as a lot of others. So
who's the artist on that Funnies cover?
It's not
an LD Cole.
Yeah, I did know. Hold on a second. I can.
I had a couple issues of Funnies before. I know their big heroes are like Phantasmo, and I think first Captain Midnight is in like New Funnies. I don't know, 53 or something.
This, I'll have to be honest, I'm not as familiar with this artist, but I'm going to give this guy top notch for the name. His name is E.C. Stoner.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. So definitely a Stoner cover.
Nice.
So, yeah, I if anybody out there knows, I mean, again, I always admit what I know or admit what I don't. I'm not familiar with that artist.
There's some titles that are still virtually, for the most part, unexplored, and New Funnies, or Funnies is one, and like Popular Comics. Nobody really looks into those, and there's some cool stuff in those titles.
Yeah, I like some of the. I do like some of the work there. So, but yeah, no, so again, picked up a few things, and I don't know. For 2022, I've got some things on my list. I'm gonna do my Mr. Burns, but yeah, that's all I got for in regards to.
Yeah, you're killing it already, man. That's awesome stuff.
Nice. All right, so we have a topic tonight, and we're gonna share the love a little bit. We're gonna share our comic duos, our best Romeo and Juliet of comics, so to speak. Two comics that go so well together, whether it be they are in sync. And I'll give you an example of the Silver Age. If you were to choose Submariner 8 and Fantastic Four 110, two Buscema covers, Thing versus one Submariner and one versus
or a trio. A trio,
or a trio, if you like. If you're into the menage a trois, there is the old. You can do the Triple Crown of Thing versus Hulk. If you had Fantastic Four 12, Fantastic Four 26, and Fantastic Four 110. That's an example of a menage a trois. Foursome is an orgy, and if you want to do an orgy, you can do an orgy and have fun with that. What we're not going to allow, and none of us will ever do that, is if I ever see a cover swipe of ASM 300 again, and someone says, "Don't you think this is so cool?" I don't do cover swipes at all. I don't do cover swipes unless it's a good cover swipe. If it's random cover swipes, which is what I have, one of them is here, which is a good one, but I don't like it when every new character has to do that stupid Spider-Man pose. No offense to Todd, and you did what you did, but you're even doing it now. His latest comic he's working on. Oh, I'm doing this whole new comic. Look at the cover. Shit, you've done it 50 times. Spawn.
Dude, he did it in the very next issue.
Very next issue.
Yeah, it's true.
He's talking about, didn't tell you, it wasn't like he did it like the very next issue. Did it right away.
Whiteboard with the original drawing and just says, okay, today it's Spawn. Tomorrow it's going to be Genghis Khan. Okay, what do you got?
So if I can, I do agree with you, but I'm going to make an exception. So, this ties in the Golden Age. I don't read the books. I have read a couple, but I don't read them. But the series Ice Cream Man has put out some awesome homage covers to Golden Age and like pre-code horror. I mean, I tip my hat. I mean, some of them are fabulous, and I would probably pick one of those up. So I
mean, I agree with that. I agree with Silver Surfer 4 swipes because let's be honest, if you swipe a Buscema, I'm going to give you a little bit of credit. But if you're just swiping for the sake of swiping your own work, you're a shit.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say I don't know. I don't typically like hemp like too many series.
Yeah,
out
the
there.
worst
swipe. Go first.
The worst swipe to me.
Oh, hang on.
I don't know what. I've never really taken a poll, so I don't know what other people think of this honestly. But the Hulk 181 cover gets swiped a lot, and I don't even think it's swipe worthy. I mean, I think that cover is not even that good, honestly.
I don't know.
God
rest his soul. I always said Herb Trimpe is the most overrated artist, and I think I just never thought he was that good to begin with.
It's just the cover itself is just run of the mill to me. I mean, it's a huge book and it's iconic, but
I mean, when Alex Ross does a reissue, when Alex Ross takes a book and does a cover swipe of it, he adds this thing to Art Adams is great at doing that. Art Adams is great. Taking a cover swipe of one book for another. I think that's great. Joe Jusko does it on the painted level where he paints a cover. Very good stuff. So it's not like I'm knocking that. I just don't want to see ASM 300 out of anybody, and I know I won't. But if anybody wants to start with a couple.
I had just one quick. I did forget one thing I could show you guys that you might like.
Oh, okay.
If you want to.
I never not want to.
I've been searching for this for a while, and I finally was able to even find one to buy, and it was in pretty nice condition. So it's from '66.
Oh, cool!
And it's the Batman series.
Oh, and the Batmobile on there too, the old school one.
And it's the only cover in that run where he's drawn on the cover. The other ones, there's a few where he's they took the show stills from the show, and he's on there. But I like this one because he's drawn.
Nice.
And then I beefed up.
I meant to ask you, Knights, are you
I beefed up my Spider-Man.
Are you able to read Japanese language, or
I can read enough to purchase stuff and search.
Okay. And, I didn't know if that would be kind of cool if you were, able to also be able to read.
Yeah, because we're always reading our English printed Golden Age books, right?
Wow.
I love cracking open my Golden Age books and reading them. They're in English. I don't fucking open them. So, you know what I mean?
Well, I just figure for these, it looks like these are a little more accessible.
Cool. Yeah. Bring that up there. Very cool.
1970. These are interesting. So, is this from a real cover? I mean,
not that I recognize.
I don't recognize it.
I feel like this figure.
I had a lot of. Well, I had a lot of. I mean, I had the run. I had most of the run.
I mean, that one is, I believe, right?
They all look alike to me.
I mean, it's definitely a well drawn cover.
Definitely, I like that one way better drawn than it was done later on. See, I'm a big Romita fan, and. Not knocking Ditko, but I love John Romita Spider-Man.
Hey, you want an unpopular opinion? The Ditko Spider-Man covers are terrible.
I agree with you. I said
there's like 2 or 3.
I don't like Spider-Man.
The rest are junk.
I like Ditko interiors and Doctor Strange interiors better than anything else. I never say what a great Ditko cover.
I mean, I say that when I see like ASM 4, I think is pretty good, and I don't know. I think 3 is decent. 3 and 4 are probably the 2 best.
My favorite 2 Spider-Man covers are both Doc Ock on it, and ASM 55 is way better than ASM 3, and ASM 3 is the best run. It's my second favorite.
Well, I think 40, 50,
40
those are 2 of the best
Yeah.
Spider-Man covers of all time. 40 and 50. Awesome.
Great ones. Great ones.
Look at this one.
Well,
Hey,
go ahead.
You made me small again.
I'll make you big. Well, because I thought you said you were good.
I got
at
two more.
Okay.
This one's pretty cool.
Oh, I like that because that shows line art.
It's
like
crazy. It's like this weird, like 3D. I don't know. Like it's not a like printing error. They did that on purpose. But
Oh, really?
and then this one I really liked because I wanted this issue, the American version, but it's been pricey lately. But the Black Widow,
Yep.
Oh,
pretty
cool.
cool.
It's a good one.
And yeah, that's that for that. So I do have, if we want to share, I'll share my screen and then
Yep.
I can show
Then
off.
I actually just downloaded the pictures to show mine. So let me show one of mine first.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. First, what I'm going to do is
Turn me off.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Make them little.
Well, I'm going to do
look
this
at that.
first. This is one of my favorites.
A living.
Of all the Batman run, Batman doesn't like guns, but he loves a Gatling gun. And I always say, what does this remind me of? Adventure Comics number 45.
Nice.
Look at his feet. Look at the motion. And I'll do it again so you can see.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Except the belts.
There's a good one with Cap.
And there it is. One of my favorite couples right there. If you're ever going to get a Batman 15, spend a little more money and go get yourself an Adventure 45 if you can find it. That's my first of there. The next, I'm going to do the next one in a swingers couples. So they're going to be swingers. It's an orgy, but they're two different couples that go together. So.
All right.
Is this a Wally Wood book? What do we got going?
No. This isn't Wally Wood. Well, first I'm going to show the best book of all time, the greatest cover right there. And we talked about this, and Diaz stole some of my thunder. My favorite Adventure Comics and DC runs are these 4, outside of Sandman covers. Number 1, number 2.
Oh yeah.
The snake. Just the fact that he's got a 1911 trying to take this guy down is great. You've got the great elephant. He's running away. They run into snakes. Then they go in the water. And they got to take out, with a Luger, they got to take out a hippo.
Yeah, 37's a great one. That's a great one.
And Lewis got to throw it in there. When they get far enough out, they got a sledgehammer. They ran out of bullets. And we got to take out the Kraken himself. Some great runs right there. One of my favorite foursomes. The orgy right there of some of the best books there. There is honorable mention is the Lion cover, but it's it starts off, as well as Frazetta. If you're interested in Frazetta, you can actually do some cool Frazetta pairs. And I want to leave all the LB Cole and all the other pairs to my buddy Diaz and to you guys. And that's my run. Are you
getting that adventure one, the elephant one from Jeff?
I am in discussions with him right now as we speak, and there's another one.
I was hoping that was going towards you.
There's another one available, but nobody. And I'm gonna make a run at that one too. I mean, it all depends on if he just sent me the pictures before the show, so I got to look at that.
I'm gonna buy this year. I'm gonna buy a More Fun or a New Adventure, either a More Fun Spectre cover, that would be my top category, or one of those early Animal Battles. I don't know. I mean, they don't show up often and they're pricey, and it's not the price. I mean, I could afford one, but they're always in auctions and the competition is stiff, and they're hot books. I mean, people who are in Golden Age have no idea. Those books are tough to find and they're really, really popular. I mean, it is really tough to win one of those in an auction. Unless you just don't care how much you pay. They've been going for a lot, man. Those are good books.
There's some more funds that are coming up in the March, April, but you're right, they don't they don't see them pop up too often. And it's funny, if you go to like the cons that I've been to, I don't often see them around for sale hardly at all. Or the ones that I see might be the Spectre ones, but like the the non-superhero, especially like, so the older ones, yeah.
Yeah, the early ones are tough, but the Spectres are tough too, but they're not as tough, but they're much more expensive. But luckily for me, there's a lot of more fun Spectre covers relative to our Golden Age category. There's quite a few.
Right.
So I don't need like a more fun 54. Obviously, I wouldn't.
That's the only. I was gonna say there's only really one Spectre cover though.
I mean, there's one where he's coming out of it's like he's materializing out of the smoke, out of a ship's smoke stack and grabbing an airplane or something. There's the one that he's like hulking over the cover.
Yeah, he's like over the
figure. Yeah, and then there's a bunch where he's like crawling out of like a cubby hole in the wall or sneaking around a building to grab bad guys. They're all cool, but there are the ones in the top half. I feel like there's probably like, I don't know, 6 or 7 that I'd be happy to own. And I keep seeing them come up. I'll get one this year, but I haven't yet, but I'm keeping my eye out.
Hey, Bob and Alex, the comic hoarder, are in the chat. They're just in time to see my pairs.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to put it out there.
All right. Now, these aren't mine. I mean, it would be great if they were. That would be great. But I love this pair. It's this two. There might be another book that does the same thing. I don't know what you call this. It's
like
the
side thing? Yeah, there's a bunch of books that do that.
There's that Anarcho Dictator of Death or something it's called.
There's a whole run of Timely that does it too. Like 6 in a row.
I have only, I mean, I know a lot of Timelies. I don't recall any other ones that have the book binding thing going on.
I'll find them. They don't have it as pronounced. It's more like Stuntman has it. There's a few like that.
I'd love to know that.
Harvey did it. I know that. There's one that I just saw the other day. I think it's.
I don't see these too often.
No, I don't. You're right.
Oh, that's a cool one. Yeah, Diaz. Awesome. I don't know if I've ever even seen that book before.
There was one
Yeah, it's not super tough to find, and it's pretty affordable, I think. But it's cool.
There's one with a superhero on it. In Timely too. I gotta find it.
Isn't there one on the back of a Young Allies?
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, there's. I think it is a Young Allies actually. No,
on the back of Mystic.
Yeah, back of Mystic. It's supposed to be a Young Allies.
That's it.
It's an ad for a Young Allies.
A Young Allies #1 cover that was not to be. I don't know. That's my guess. We'll see if I'm right.
There's a few other
but
ones.
This Young Allies is really cool. It's one of the first books Timely came out with after Pearl Harbor, and Gabrielle, or I don't know how you say it. Gabrielle, I guess. I don't know. It was drawing the Japanese with these like insane teeth, as you could see there, but they're pretty scary looking. And yeah, of course, the Stuntman is a nice Kirby, Simon Kirby one from way later. All right, I'll go on to the next one. Obvious, right? You know this was going to happen. Yeah. It's amazing, though, how close. I didn't realize how close they were to each other coming out. It's like within a month, they both came out.
Yeah.
Suspense was first, but.
And harder to. Oh, they're both great.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I think Suspense is Suspense 1, the Quinlan cover, which is very similar to Suspense 3. I feel that came out first, and then I think Schomburg's like Hold My Beer, and then
I was gonna say
and then he's like Hold My Beer again, and he did all do 8.
I do have a Suspense 1. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that the one I'm talking about? Is it Suspense 1?
Yeah, it's a Charles Quinlan. Yeah, it's
I mean, it's almost the same. It's like Schomburg swiped it, honestly.
So yeah, it's kind of. I mean, it's similar. Like.
Yeah, the figures are in the same. Perspective's the same. I mean, it's very, very similar.
I'm gonna try to do this without ruining everything.
Yeah, other than the girl laying down, I mean, the guy up top, the moon, the corner perspective of the wall.
Oh, right. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, very, very similar.
Oh, hello, late night comments.
All right. we shall move on to the next one. I like this pairing. They're both dropping right onto the city there. One is that the bottles on the left one is death germs, it says.
Yeah. I do have that one too. Yeah, that's a cool
They're
one.
going to drop the coronavirus on New York City. And then the other one, which is right around the time of Hiroshima, there, and that's clearly U.S. because it shows the Empire State's Building. I think maybe not. It's a little tough to tell, but those are great. Both
all those new joining. It's Valentine's Day. We're showing our favorite couples, our favorite threesomes, and our menage a trois, and our favorite orgies, if you have it. Books that kind of just pair up together in the golden age that we love out there.
And so these are Nazi zombies. I wasn't
okay.
There. I would assume that there's more somewhere, but when I was trying to go for this, I had 46 a few times, but 32 was just so ridiculous to get at the time that I gave up on that, and I don't have a 46 anymore. But I was trying to go for all the zombie Nazis I could find, and yeah, I'd love to know about more of them because I'm sure there is. But yeah, this is the classic
to show.
Pickle Hitler, as they call him. Right,
yeah, I actually picked two to pair up that are Nazi zombies.
And then here's a very similar.
Yep.
Yep, I was gonna say this was hopefully somebody was gonna show this.
For obvious reasons. I really like the Terrific a lot more, better drawn.
Yeah, I think I like both equally. I like the Air Fighter with the
colors
and the trade dress and all the extras on it.
Yeah, but look at the silhouette of that aircraft carrier. It's so cool with the moon.
Yeah, it's cool.
You have a silhouette of P-50s or zeros in the background.
Yeah, that's great. I should look that up. This is a Pafals or Petals cover. I'm not familiar with that guy. But the other one, Biro, he's
Charles Buck. Yeah,
I'm surprised it's not more insane considering he did it. But yeah, both good. Oh, I love this pairing.
This is a good one.
Oh yeah, nice.
So good. And again, very close to. This was only a couple months away from each other. So yeah, it could have been like maybe he had some leftover preliminaries or something, and so then he did that.
The fact that the guy's walking around with TNT underwater is fantastic.
Yeah.
It won't work, bud. You can't light it in water.
So it's always amazing on these Golden Age books. I mean, like, just if there was a space, they filled it with something, right? There's like, hey, there's an inch over here. Well, I can put 3 creatures and a knife in that thing.
Yeah.
I think Schomburg got paid to use every corner, every crevice, every line.
Yeah.
He got paid by the thing because not every Golden Age is like that. It's definitely this era, the World War II era.
Yeah.
It's apps or the and it's Schomburg on both, but.
I love the like horizontal streaks of in the water. They're really cool.
Well, those type of books are sort of what people think. I think a lot of people think of Golden Age. They think of kind of all of the busy stuff going on, the war. I think that's what it's kind of what's iconic about these books. But yeah.
And as good as 9mm para Lugers are, they don't fire underwater either. So
here we go. So he did the first one on the left in 41, and then about almost 2 years later, the other one. But I swear it's like he's just detailing out, in the diagram what that tunnel was because they're both going to New York.
Yep.
Yeah, the best thing about the one on the right is the labels. He labeled everything, and some of the labels were just so humorous and.
Yep.
Yeah, the labels are what make that cover. It's so unique, such a unique touch.
Great Statue of Liberty
It is
there.
certainly a timely bias right now, just to let you know.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That's
but,
okay.
you know.
We expected it. I mean, if you showed nothing but Fiction House, we'd lose our shit.
Here's another one. This is a great pair. They came out in the same exact time, and they're both. There might be one or two, but I can't think of any off the top of my head where they're showing Russian forces and showing, U.S. and Russia forces against the Germans.
I don't. I mean, I'm probably the silly one, but that Marvel Mystery Comics, I don't think I've seen that before.
44.
Or
classic cover, both considered classic covers by CGC.
Nice. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's just probably more shame on me. But yeah, the one to the right there, that Marvel Mystery Comic, I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, I thought honestly you were going to pair that Super Plane cover with the Zeppelin cover.
That's I'm thinking the same thing.
That's a nice pair too, but a little too obvious, right?
Yeah, I guess. With those two massive German airships being destroyed in midair.
Yeah. I wish there was more Zeppelin covers to pair it with, but there aren't too many. You'd think there would be more.
Yeah, I like that Zeppelin cover actually a lot.
Here we go. This is a trio.
Yeah.
Can you guess what the common theme here is?
It's that spirit god monster thing.
Yeah, that like jade statue.
Yeah.
It's
pretty cool. I really dig the Submariner 13. That black snake is really awesome. And I mean, that's a great Young Allies. I feel like that can sometimes slip by pretty cheap too. Not cheap, but And look at how crazy Cap is on the right there with the machine gun on USA. And these are pretty close. At least the last two, the Submariner and the USA, were very close to. Yeah, they're both spring 1944. Here's now the two on the right are a little more similar, but they're all pretty close. There's like steamrolling vehicles flattening people. I love Cap with the little with the bomb in his hands.
Yeah. I think I like the exciting the best of those three. Just because he's shooting the guys while he's shooting them.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. And the 64 Marvel Mystery, I believe that's the last German war cover. So that's kind of cool. And it has Hitler very small in the center on the right. And here's another trio that I like. These Black Terrors are pretty awesome. Fighting the kamikaze. And I like how it's almost tells a story. It's getting closer to the water there. Those are cool. I wonder why he chose orange as the color for those planes. And then some Cap on the bike.
Of course. Yeah.
Here's
why I always say All Winners 12 is my favorite of the bunch. But it's not like I'm knocking any other one. When I had to choose one of these, if I were to choose one, I always wanted the added Submariner in it and everything else like that. Then I look at the All Select and I'm like, featured in this is like, if you're going to get one of those 3 collectors showcase things, this has to be in there. I took Qua for sure.
I like the All Select 4. I mean, he took it to a new level. He's got the machine gun mounted on the front of the bike, and he's got that smile on his face. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, and Bucky's doing some damage.
Yeah, Bucky's full on Winter Soldier. He completed his training there, and is just mowing down guys. Submariners whipping rocket shells.
He's just doing what he's doing. Getting hit over the head with a bottle like it's Oktoberfest.
Yeah. But I probably prefer the Cap 27 the best. I just love that he's flying through the air. Bucky's looking pretty cool. He's got the shield right up in front, and it's going right to Berlin. And I think there's still
but that Cap 27 in this run that you're doing right now has been a complete whore. It's been with every Russian and been with everything.
Yeah.
You've paired this up so many times. You know.
And that's like 2 years before we even U.S. even sets foot in Berlin. And then that was it. But I wanted to bring up my
40.
favorite Fleschel cover.
What about 42?
I love this one.
But you got to show them both. That's a good combo.
Well, this was just because you guys were talking
And
about
it's Crime right there. That's the other one I'm waiting on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good stuff.
So
Anybody
that's
else have any pairs that they want to show? I mean, I have a Menage a Trois.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some books paired up. I don't have anything on computer. I was just going to pull out my own books.
There you go. That's how you do it when you're a golden guy.
All right. Try not to show these.
I'm choosing not to show any more elephants, by the way. But so many of them pair up, it's ridiculous.
All right, so I'll start with this one since Knights was doing Nazi zombies. You know, I don't have a lot of books, you guys know that, but I have 2 MLJs that both have sort of Nazi zombies.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah.
We got Pep 34
Yeah.
and Zip 22.
There you go. There you go.
Probably the best of the MLJ runs, in my opinion. No offense to Archie collectors. I apologize. I'm just going to say I do like there, but you've got that guy and that fellow there.
He's more of a monster, but
Well, like I said, I don't have a lot to choose from. You know what I mean? These are 2 MLJs.
That's a good combo.
those are awesome.
Yeah,
What's
Nazi
the-
Monster MLJ covers.
What are the dates on those?
The Zip is January of 42, and the Pep is December of 42. So they bookend the year of 42.
Oh wow,
End of 42.
those are awesome.
Yeah, so you know, I don't have a lot of Nazi monsters. I think these are the only 2. I do have an all new 8, but I don't have anything to pair with it anymore. So, so there's those 2. Let's see. How about some LB Cole? JD wanted to leave.
I'm waiting for it.
I used to have a lot more LB Coles, and I've sold a bunch.
I was going to do the jungle black light.
But I do have some Cole sci-fis. I've got Light 11
Mm-hmm.
and Blue Ball 105 for
I
LB
would-
Cole
see,
sci-fi.
This is my problem. I would take that 3 bolt and I'd set it up on a blind date with the planet. Was it Planet 8 or 9? Or Planet 12 with the human bird, like the human version of that.
Yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about with the yellow background?
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
This also is a robot cover. The vines are cool. Black cover, just like multicolored planet star dots. I love the cross hatching and the shading on the vines. And then, of course, the spaceship's awesome. And yeah, just a really cool sci-fi book. And then, of course, this one. I mean, what can you say about that? That's one of the best sci-fi covers of all time, right there. So yeah, so LB Cole Sci-Fi. I guess pretty good duo there.
No, it is a good combo.
I've got. See, I really didn't even want to show these because I feel like I've showed them too much recently to people that.
I don't care.
Yeah, I know. So I don't either. So I don't want to show them again. But I mean, they go together because they're from a pretty tough run, and they're the same artist. So I figure I might as well show my hit comic collection. So we got Hit 5 by Lou Fine. Another black cover.
Still rubbing it.
It doesn't really match, but I have Hit 7. Almost the same grade. Equally good looking book, another Lou Fine. So that's my Hit Comics collection.
It's been a couple years, Diaz. You're still rubbing that hit comic. That's all right, man. It's all right.
I know. I feel like I got a steal on both of these. Honestly. This one especially. This one I got more recently.
That's cool. Yeah.
This one, I feel lucky to have gotten this one. Honestly, the reds is just so good, and that the white where the title is like bright white. It's such a good looking copy. And then this one too, it's got a little little chip off the corner here, which is really not that bad. Not really any spine ticks or anything. I mean, no creases. Pretty clean black cover. So that's my hit collection.
I always like the time. It has a timestamp on it that I always thought was cool. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got a date stamp in the eye, and the date stamp's also in red.
Yeah, I always like that part. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, September 4, 1940, and then this book is dated November of 1940. So you can see it was stamped 2 months prior to the date because that's when it was the newsstand. All right, how about this is one of my favorite duos and some of the least valuable books in my collection. They're so good. I just love these. I don't know. Hopefully some other people will enjoy these as well. They're really not worth that much, but they are to me because they're just so cool. And they're early too. So robot covers. I got Smash 3.
Yep.
And low grade. This is 2.5. It's got tape all down the spine. But I mean, for colors this is October of 1939, and it looks like this. I mean, how could you go wrong with that? And that's number 3. So this is the second cover appearance of Bozo the Robot. Smash 1 would be the first robot cover of all time, actually. And then I have the third cover appearance is Smash 7, Smash 5. They're fighting the crocodiles. And again, low grade, but really good colors on both of these. They're both from 1939, and just really good colors on these books.
That's a great pair.
I think so too. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, just cool robot. They're old timey. You know what I mean? They're not dark like most of the stuff I have. They're just old timey. They're tough to find. They're very early GA books, and these are really good looking low grade copies. I don't know how much they're worth. Probably together they're not even worth $1,000.
Hard to find though.
Yeah, they're hard to find. I bought one at Heroes Con a few years back, and the other one I bought raw off of Heritage.
Is that also the first appearance of the Iron Giant?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
It also has on the sides here. I'll show you some of the other characters that are in these books.
Invisible Hood,
Espionage, Invisible Hood, Archie O'Toole, Clip Chance,
Archie O'Toole. Yeah. Wings Wendell.
Wings Wendell. Yeah, so cool. A couple of cool books. 1939. I mean, good looking 1939 books are tough to pass up when you find them.
nice.
How about go back to LB Cole. I used to have a better duo, which I don't have anymore, but I think this will still work. But for those of you who are familiar, you'll know which book pairs better with Mask 1. Don't have anymore is a Target Comics Volume 3, number 3 or something like that. But I do have one that sort of goes with it, I feel like.
Yeah.
Similar style. You got the ominous, heavily shaded sort of face in the middle, and then all the stuff around the edge. So let me show you something on this mask.
Great colors. And
People
very
may
similar
not have
color
seen before
palette.
on this mask. So yeah, it's missing a little chunk here, but it's really not that bad. It's a 2.5. That's why it's a 2.5. So, but good colors on this thing. So these angels are flying towards the flame and burning up. They're hitting the flame and burning up. You can see the wings on this bottom one are singed, and you can see the smoke rising.
Oh yeah.
This one over here, you can see the burned wing on that green one. Both wings are burned, and smoke's coming off the one wing.
I never knew the base of that said evil. I never noticed that.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of cool little touches on this that just makes it a masterpiece. So it's like moths to a flame, and then you got comedy and tragedy up top. And the piece that's missing does not take off the signature; it cuts off just before that. So, overall, not a bad book. And then this one is from Lee Polonsky, who's in the chat. Book I always wanted, and again, similar face in the middle with stuff around the edges. You got this candle on the skull with the snake. This guy drowning. You got the devil over here, a hooded figure pointing. Couple burning skulls. So I feel like these go together, sort of. They're pretty similar style for Cole. And then how about one more? This will be my last duo.
Where's the Catman 28?
Yeah, I mean, I know where a lot of them are. None of them are mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so all right, so like the hit comics, I have a couple more Lou Fines. I've got National Comics 5.
Yeah, that's a sneaky good one.
Yeah, it is sneaky good. I bought that on Mother's Day on a Heritage Weekly auction that happened on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So late on Sunday night. And I feel like it just went under the radar or something. I was very happy with the price I paid for the National 5, and it's a pretty good looking copy.
Yeah. Yeah,
And then this is a book I was looking for years, National 16. This is not a Lou Fine, though. This is a Reed Crandall.
I was going to say that's Reed Crandall, but it's still amazing. I like Reed Crandall. I kind of think gets overshadowed a bit.
So I had 2 copies of this, and I sold the higher graded one and kept the 4.5. Not as brilliant of reds as the other one had, but
oops, sorry.
Yeah, Giant Uncle Sam fighting, and this is from 10 of 41. I'm not sure why they went with the Imperial German style helmet. I guess maybe they didn't want to do a Nazi
Because he
helmet.
rose from the dead.
I don't know.
He rose from the dead.
What year?
This is 41. This is October of 41.
That's a Hun. That's not even a German. That's a Hun. That's wearing that
So
helmet.
they weren't close.
Yeah, it's like Bismarck era.
Pre-Pearl Harbor.
But you can see
World War One, man. That's when the Huns, the Hessians.
No, I mean the book came out before Pearl Harbor.
Oh,
So
yeah.
a lot of companies weren't blatantly going against the Nazi party yet.
And somebody pointed out to me, why does this skeleton have an actual hand?
It's borrowed from somebody else. That's a scary.
He's got this crazy mace, and he's got a
That
sword.
is weird.
He's got a sword on his belt and armor. He's holding up the battleship. I always loved this book. And then National 5, I'll give you a closer look at this one. That's
a great copy of that book. I'm still the first time you showed that. This is an underrated book because it combines good girl art, crazy stuff, patriotic, and a skull.
Oh, it's the first appearance of Quicksilver too.
True.
There you go. Smashing new star to thrill you starts in this issue. I like the pastel coloring on the skull and the bricks. He does that often. He has like pastel colors mixed in the background in an odd way that adds a nice touch. So that's my national collection.
On the other national, who's the artist on that? The one with the skull.
This one it's Reed Crandall.
Yeah, the other one. The other one, I guess.
This is Lou Fine.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and Reed Crandall is hard to tell the difference between early Reed Crandall and Lou Fine. They're very similar styles, almost like one was learning from the other, or they worked together and sort of worked with each other's styles, and they got so close. I don't know, but early Reed Crandall and Lou Fine are very similar. To the untrained eye, you can't really tell the difference.
It took that National Comics, I thought, was Lou Fine forever.
Yeah, I think a lot of people still do. I saw somebody post one not long ago that mentioned it as a Lou Fine. So it still gets mistaken. And it makes sense because, I mean, if you look at this, tell me that doesn't look like a Lou Fine cover. I mean, it totally does. So it makes perfect sense. They're indistinguishable unless you just are experienced enough to know the difference. They look the same.
We'll just call it a Lou Crandall cover.
Lou Crandall.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's it. That's all the duos I have in my phone.
Now the first
That's like half of my entire PC you guys have seen.
Now,
that's how crazy few books I have.
The first one you showed, the first two you showed.
Yeah.
This, show them again for a second here, because the one I said that belongs with the Jumbo 10.
These two?
No, not the MLJs. The ones after that with the flying thing attacking somebody.
Flying thing attacking somebody?
Like the pterodactyl or something, or which one was it?
I mean, I've got the Blue Bolt 105.
Yeah, no. Yeah, let me see the Blue Bolt 105. Yeah.
That one?
Yeah, I always wanted to pair that with this. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool.
I always wanted to pair it with that.
Yeah, that's a Lufine cover.
Yeah, yep.
I love that Jumbo.
Put the two of them in
number
there.
10. Is that Jumbo number 10? Is that what
Jumbo
10?
10, yeah.
Yeah.
I always, every time I see a Blue Bolt 105, I say, man, Jumbo 10, just kind of right there with it, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like this one's kind of similar. I didn't have anything to pair this with. I don't know. We'll see right now if it pairs with it. But
that's the other one I like.
What about your Planet One? Don't you have something?
Hang on.
Pair with the Planet One.
The Planet One is in the vault. I don't have access to it right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, nice.
I don't really know how similar these are, other than there's 3 figures. Well, there's more than 3 figures on the
Hey, whatever you watch in your own time for your
any excuse to show a rivet. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Rivets are the way to go. Another one I'll show up now. Lewis, get yours ready. I'll do the next two I have. These are two of my favorites. I
was gonna say I didn't have time to get a whole.
Yeah,
bunch
we've been working all day. Him and I have been working all day.
I have like 10 seconds of pairing though. In order in the comic book market right now, we're talking pairings that are critical. You must pair one of these with another one of these with a lot more of these.
Yeah.
You know, to play in the golden age. That's my opinion. It just gets a little sillier and sillier as the days stick by. But right now, that's the key pairing in the golden age market, I think.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. Look, anybody who really wants to get into, these are not like the biggest books ever that I just showed, but they're some of my favorites, and I think they're legit books, and they're good condition and presentable and tough to find. And I'll tell you, even at this level of book that I have, the only way really to do it is to sell stuff along the way to move up the ladder, because if you just chase prices on these to buy and hold, it makes it extremely difficult, even at the level of book that I have. And none of these are like super expensive books, but they're tough, man. These books are tough to pay for without moving other stuff to keep up. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's a moving thing.
And you could do it maybe 5 years ago. Some people were collecting 30 years ago and they already have all this stuff. But if you're just starting, or you started even a couple of years ago, very tough even for the level of books that I'm at to do it without trying to hustle extra money up somehow. So
I know a guy who's been buying books since the 70s religiously, and his Golden Age collection I will put up against anybody. And I'm going to do a show at his house. We're working out the details. I'm going to do it from his house. I'm going to show you everything from a raw festival of fine to very fine everything. The books that you don't even know that exist. Like probably the highest. He probably has a few of the highest graded that aren't graded.
nice.
Just like that. And it'll be a hell of a show. And I'm just working out with him. But I want to show two books right now that I happen to. I want to show these two. Well, I'll do my next ones. I always do my duo of two of my favorite books. And if you watch the show enough, you know that this is one of my favorites right here. And the reason why, and I always love this big head zombie kind of face and everything, vampire-ish, creepy face thing. It's a rivet, and I'm showing rivets, so that's good. But my other one is, I always compare it to this.
Oh yeah,
Space Detective 3. But
yeah, they are similar. You're right.
But Space Detective 3, you all know I've missed out on that one book, and now I'm religiously hate this book. But the good girl art is there, and it's the male versus female versus this big giant head, vampire head. I love these two. That's cool. Two of my favorites right there. Another, and my menage a trois 2 guys and one girl. Action Comics 13,
Oh yeah.
Wiz Comics 18. But if you want to push it right through, where is it? Hang on, one more. Give me 1 second here. It's taking a minute to get here. The girl's always late. Again, Action Comics 13, Wiz Comics 18, and Sensation Comics right there. Now, Diaz hates this because it's a Pfeffer book, but it doesn't look like a Pfeffer book. But there you go.
Pepper book.
H.G. Peter, you mean?
H.G. Peter, sorry.
Got it. Okay.
I'm not a fan of his art, but I get it, and the books they have a quality that's good. It's just not my style of art. I don't really like how he draws.
I got some in person.
I think objectively he's a good artist, but subjectively I'm just not into him. I like that Action 13. That's like a poor man's Wiz 18.
This is getting expensive.
It's a poor man Wiz 18 is what it is. Wiz 18 is so much better.
Here's I got some physicals. This is one I kept almost selling, but I just can't. Whenever it comes time to actually get real about selling it, I just never do, and I'm always glad I don't. Her first, I don't like her first cover appearance. I don't like the painted style. Whoever did that one. This is more of a classic comic. Yeah, the glare is ridiculously bad on this, but I love the way the pairing with this one.
The WoW, yeah, the other one. Oh, that's a good one. That's what the other one is the blue background is one of my.
It's her first.
Yeah.
First 2 solo in her bone book, and then the 10 is the one. There's no Shazam or nothing in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a modern artist who one of that modern artist collector's grails is a swipe of that. Where she's sitting out in that Supergirl, whatever it was, Adam Hughes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hughes did that one.
What year are those? What year is the first for? What, I'm just curious.
They're 2. It's February and March of 43.
43. Okay.
And this one had the date stamp of January 5th.
I'm kind of one of those. I know there's people in different camps. I dig books with date stamps if they're.
Yeah, that's a great spot with it for it too.
Yeah, I mean, location's important. It's like real estate there, but if it's put in a nice spot, I don't know. I think it adds. I like date stamps.
I'm a big fan if it's in the right spot. When it was over this woman's breasts on a good girl on a girl. Oh, see, I didn't show that for a reason. It's the same guy.
Nice.
Yeah, all I need, I do have that Sensation one, so all I need is that Wiz, and I'll have my quad.
Dude, you totally need a Wiz 18. Holy crap!
Why was everybody
what a coincidence? You totally need that. I had no idea.
Why was everybody screwing with trains back then? It's like
Dude, that was like the power vehicle back then, man.
Stronger than a locomotive. Come on.
Has this one calmed down? Because when I was after this for a few years,
stronger than a battleship like
it's
Submariner.
been it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
and then this thing broke the bank.
Ripping apart a battleship, no one cared. He was stronger than a locomotive.
No, it has, Mike. It has not calmed down. That book is ridiculously expensive.
Oh, Action 13 has gone through the roof recently.
Yeah,
I mean, super low grades are 5 digits.
Yeah, when it wasn't that 4 years ago, it was $1,000 point.
Is that one complete and everything?
Yeah.
What's the grade?
Yeah, it's about a 2.
Yeah.
But I try to get as good a presenting 2 as possible.
Yeah, no, it's yep. That's certainly one of the more sought after.
Very iconic. Yeah, one of my favorite early actions for sure.
Yeah.
Probably only second to number 1 for me.
Oh, Sean, by the way, said he's going to be there.
All right, you could take me off the center stage.
Oh, I did have I had a trio. I forgot. It just didn't fit in the box.
Which is?
But I have a trio sitting here next to me.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Show
let me
you
think.
mine.
I'll show you.
Show you Menage a Trois.
I'll show you a trio here.
I'm gonna hit all sorts of YouTube flags today.
The only thing these have in common, honestly, is the theme and the artist. So I guess they have a lot in common.
I didn't say you could do a gangbang with the ASM 300 swipes.
Oh, I was going to show my ASM 300, my ASM 301, and my Spawn 227. No good?
I thought you were going to show Secret Wars 8 and 252.
How about Russ Heath, Adam Age War Books?
Please do.
So Battlefield 2, 1952, 6.0 off-white. I love the hand coming out of the rubble and the sparkle on the bayonet.
Yep.
These two are about to come face to face. And then, of course, Heath has great backgrounds, very detailed, leaves nothing.
There's an Al Hartley book that looks like that, too.
This is such a great cover. I don't think even people in this genre truly appreciate how awesome this cover is. Maybe they do. I don't know. But it's just a brilliantly dark, ominous, suspenseful cover. So well done. So that's one of my favorite Russ Heath Adam Age books.
You know what's cool in that book? It's like a little detail, but the glare off the bayonet.
I know, I love it. And also, it's always fun when you get a new Heath book to search for his signature because he makes it tough to find. And here, it's written in there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I mean, if you get this book and you're looking for the signature, you're all down here in the rubble, and
right.
It's it's up there in the dirt, sort of. But look at these guys running back here. This explosion, even the explosion's fairly detailed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a nice Russ Heath book. And then another Russ Heath book I really like at sea. Action 2, 1954.
Yep.
6.5 off white. And the colors on this, the heavy shadowing that Heath is known for.
And lighting.
Yeah, the lighting, the colors on this. I love the colors in the sky, like the strips of blue and black, and then the pink of dusk in the background. Tons of action on this cover. The row of bullets hitting the ocean over here, and there's his signature again. Another ship in the background, some anti-aircraft fire, it looks like. Silhouette of a plane against the dusk sky. Some more over here. Looks like maybe a plane got hit there or something.
Well, that's a destroyer, right?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I study World War II history a little bit, but I've never seen a ship that looks like a destroyer that disembarks troops like this.
Yeah, it's a little small.
So I don't. It might be a made-up ship. I don't know. I don't recognize the type of ship this is. Troops that usually wouldn't disembark off a battleship thing this big. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And then my favorite piece is Battlefront 26.
I actually think that tells the true story. Go back to that 245. I think that's the sinking of what year was that? 245.
I'm not sure how those connect though.
They're all Russ Heath.
All Russ Heath.
Well,
covers.
They're all Russ Heath war.
What year was that?
War covers, and they're all eye candy. This one is
Navy action is based on true stories. That's the sinking of the Reuben James.
It might be. I have no idea. It's not. It's 1954, October of 54.
Well,
I bet you could get a winter one to go with that other winter cover, and then something with the orange tones that the other one has, like a sunset cover.
There's electric chair covers by
I have two orange tones. I also have a couple snow covers, but I just wanted to break out the Heaths.
Oh yeah.
But this one is one of the evocative covers. There's not a lot of action. There's no action on this. It's just evocative. You get you can feel the brisk temperature, and you can just see the intensity, the focus on these troops. And again, the way Heath draws. And where's his?
And that guy looks like Lieutenant Spears from Band.
No one did the Don Heck horrific one cover.
There's the Russ Heath signature on that one. I don't know, good detail on this. You can see the caravan, convoy. The tank treads are awesome. I love the tank treads. That's a really, really good drawn tank. I mean, it's just a masterpiece. Absolutely love it.
Guys, I love it.
So yeah, 3 Russ Heaths. Yeah, I have another snow cover, but it's not a Russ Heath. I have another yellow cover. That's a Russ Heath War 26, maybe.
What about this trio?
Oh, put it down. Put Steranko down.
Yeah, we're not doing moderns. Those are modern.
Come on.
I
Those
thought
are
you
good
liked this, JD.
I love that stuff. Actually, I like the middle one more than the other ones.
I've had 2 of
I'm
those.
a big fan of some of, like, I like Steranko. Don't get me wrong, I love Steranko, but I just kind of think that, you know, I don't know. I like those books. I love the middle one the most. The white background. Something about Captain America in a white background looks better.
Yeah, I had a copy of that
in
one.
yellow background. I don't like a yellow background. He's got to be red, white, and blue.
You don't like this? I like the colors on
I never
there.
did. I don't like the colors on it. I think if they made if just basic white would have been better.
I like the white one, and I had a 9.0 white pager, and I had an 8.5 white pager and a 9.0 white pager, and those books sold instantly.
What do you get for those?
Like
I have a really sweet copy. I have a near mint.
They're expensive.
It's a 9992 probably. I'll tell you what. I don't grade by number. It's VF to near mint around that. So I've had a real nice copy of that one.
I've never owned any of the. I'm not opposed to them because I do like a lot of them, but I've never owned any of the war themed covers. But you know, it might be something I'd look to pick up in the future. I do think there's and it still seems as if in the market they're a little reasonable comparative to so many of the stuff that we do chase.
Yeah, they are, and they're hit and miss. You know, I think the flamethrower covers get all the credit, but there's so many good.
The gray tone covers get a lot of.
And I think really of all the, you know, Heath did, you know, he did stuff after in the Silver Age too. But he also did like Atlas covers for PCH books, and they're pretty good and well known. I think Heath's best work is the Atom Age War books. So that's his best work in my opinion. I've had a little bit of everything of his.
He did a lot of Lorna the Jungle Queen and / Jungle Girl. I don't know when she got demoted, but he did a lot of Atlas books, and he did some crime books as well that were really just kind of like the war stuff where it gets a little over the top. I have a few Russ Heath books. I have one, The Unknown, where a guy's in like an electric chair and there's just a light on him. And he's just sitting there getting fried. That's a good Russ Heath book.
Yeah, he did Spellbound 3 with the giant.
Spellbound 3, which is that's a Spellbound 3. Isn't that the worm?
Spellbound 3 or Spellbound 5. One of those.
5 is the one I used to have. I sold my Spellbound. Did you buy it? Or somebody bought it.
He also did the one with the giant hand. It's a blue cover. I can't remember what title. It might be Mystic or something. It's the giant claw, but like a giant werewolf hand almost, grasping when they're sitting in the hand. And then he also did one of my favorites is Suspense. What number is that? Lee, if Lee's still in the chat, he'll know because I think he just recently had a copy. Suspense 18 or something. God, what number was that? Really, really good. Where a guy's digging a grave, and the creepy woman in the background is directing her gremlin to hold the guy captive to dig his own grave, and it's in a cave. That one is Suspense something. I can't remember the.
Sounds like The Weekend with My Wife, but hey, so like, okay, in the war genre,
19 Suspense 19.
In that genre there, like, what is what is there like considered? Well, what is the priciest book, I guess, or books, of that war? What is the like?
I would say probably the
Battle
pricey
action.
book. No, it's probably this one. I would bet you this is one of the priciest books in that
Okay,
book.
okay, that's a Kirby, right?
Yeah, that's a Kirby cover, Foxhole 1.
Okay,
I would say this is the only non-action book that's up there. Most of the other ones are all flamethrower covers.
and isn't it that was actually a swipe too, isn't it?
This is a swipe of a painting done by Joseph Hirsch in a book during World War II or right after World War II. And the book was about medical personnel and nurses on the battlefield. It was like a tribute to the medical personnel on the battlefield. And in that book was a painting by Joseph Hirsch of this.
Nice.
The difference is Kirby added some blood here on the side of the wrap. But other than that, it's pretty identical.
Okay.
The coloring is much brighter on this one. The original Hirsch.
I prefer this one.
That's the one I always thought. That's the one I always thought was the most expensive of them.
I don't think so. I think aren't some of those flamethrower ones more?
Flamethrowers are the highest.
Yeah, the flamethrowers are hot. Like War 11, I still don't have. That's a Heath flamethrower. Black.
Why is this camera so shit?
The horrific headshot swipe. Although that was the original. That's another expensive one.
Okay.
But yeah, flamethrower covers are basically where it's at price wise, other than Foxhole 1. Foxhole 2, that's no slouch. That's not a cheap book. The Foxholes are tough. This is a tough book. Tough title to find.
So then, to use a bad dad joke in the war run, you would say he brought the heat, right?
Yeah, and then aside from the flamethrowers and the foxholes, the price drops off pretty quick. The price drops down to a few $100.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're looking for super high grade copies, but just like mid grade stuff like I have, a few $100 probably at most. They're not super expensive, but I mean, I can't imagine they're not going to catch on at some point, especially the Heath stuff, because every single Heath cover from those war books is just phenomenal piece of art. I mean,
yeah,
it's like there are some other people into it. Sean's in our chat. He knows what I'm talking about. These works of art on these covers, especially the Heath ones, are so phenomenally good. I can't imagine that at some point they won't catch on. I mean, they have to. They're just so good.
Well, they have risen.
World War II is the big thing right now. World War II, Schomburg, Nazi stuff.
They rose though in a lot in the past 3-4 years.
Yeah.
They've gone up. I mean, when I first started getting into them in January of 20, maybe early in 2020, I started getting into these, and I was picking them up for $20. Okay, and then towards the end of the year, they started to be a couple $100, and then the flamethrower ones really took off. But I think like the ones I'm showing, like something like this, like suppose I'm just a dealer and I'm selling this, I'm going to put it on my wall and sell it. I would probably, if a realistic price on this copy in 6.0, I'd put 400 on it, and I'd probably get talked down into the low threes on it. And I feel like it's worth way more than that. But yeah, I mean, I bought this raw on eBay for like $100. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I figure it's a steal. I think the Navy Action 2 is a little more popular. I think this one's probably not cheap. I just saw one of these sell recently, same grade. Sold for like $450, same grade.
Yeah, that's one of the covers that I've kind of seen. I guess
it's so good. I mean, this is worth more. I mean, look at what else can you get that's this good for $450? I mean, this is way better than $450 to me. So yeah, these aren't going anywhere because number one, I like them too much. They are tough to find in nice shape, and nobody will give me what they're actually worth to me. So that's why I keep them. So, but I love them. They're good, and they're just not. They're worth way more to me than they would bring on the market anyway.
So in the war genre, I'm just curious. Okay, you have Russ Heath, who I'm certainly familiar with. Like, is there another artist that's sort of also?
Not really. I feel like it's Heath and everyone else, and They're mostly the Atlas ones are the big
Yeah.
ones. And it's the same PCH Atlas crew, you know. Yeah, Carl Burgos, Sid Shores, guys like that. Harry Anderson. One of my favorites is a Harry Anderson. If you want to see it, I'll pull it out.
Yeah, I like Harry Anderson.
That's what, yeah.
Al Hartley as well, another Atlas guy. I'm trying to think of somebody outside of that. Who did the gray tone covers? There's one guy.
Well, there's Gio.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
Somebody in the chat explained to us. It's the guy Jura, or whatever his name was. He did a lot of the gray tone covers. I think they're a little placed as
that's a neat one.
That's the one I like.
I think this is a Harry Anderson cover, but it doesn't credit an artist for the cover. But let me tell you about this book. I bought this raw off a dealer online. I can't remember who it was. It was really dirty. When I cleaned it up, it sparkled. This, even considering all the silver and bronze books I've ever had, this has the whitest, freshest paper quality of any book in my collection. I mean, the book is bright. The pages are bright white. I don't think this thing ever saw the light of day.
That's
and
cool.
It's 50 white pager, but I mean, this thing is just immaculately bright white. It's just insanely nice copy.
I've not seen that book. I don't.
Joe Manili is another one. That's right.
Yeah, Joe Manili does a lot.
Joe Manili did a lot of them. Yeah.
There's that one, and then here is a Sid Shores cover. Very good arrangement on this one. This one is just the design of this
Shout
one.
out to Diaz for taking the Mylar off of the slab.
Yeah.
Show.
I just like the arrangement of this one. The angles and the lines.
Yeah,
It's cool. It's very aesthetically done. It's a
Now,
Sid Shores.
A lot of the receipts were done during or after Korea and reflected both Korea and World War II, well, with less propaganda stuff added to it.
So yeah, this is a pretty nice book. This one's tough to find in nice shape. 6.0. I mean, this is I don't know. I think it's an underrated book. And then here's another Russ Heath. I suspect this one is a photo reference.
I like that one. Yeah.
I was saying that's one of my favorites there.
Yeah, this is the last pre-coded.
The guy in the bottom left that's dead versus everybody else is walking by. Yeah, it's decapitated. He's just sitting there like he's dead. And then I mean, this is an underrated book. And
it looks like a photo reference.
You know where they are, what they're doing, and where they got to go. They're carrying beautiful M4s. Ping! When they're done.
I mean, it looks like a photo to me, and maybe he added the guy on the bottom here, but I mean, this looks like a photo. But this one's lower grade, but it's tough to find a nice copy of this book. And then you want to see the other snow cover.
Absolutely.
I don't even know who the cover artist is on this, honestly.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
You can see the battle is over. Fires are still burning. This guy's having his cup of joe. Snow's coming down, and then the colors on this are really good. And this is a pretty clean copy. It really looks a lot better than the 5.0, but it's got this crease. It's like a reader's crease going down the spine. So that's what kills it. But I mean, the staples are shiny. I mean, it's got a date stamp on the back. Really clean copy. Really beautiful copy.
It doesn't credit an artist at all, or
no, it says Mike Sikowski, Mac Pacula, and Gustav Trotter art.
Okay.
It could be any one of those three, or maybe somebody else, but it's not signed.
Yeah, I think maybe that's Skidowski. I think he did some of that work for that before, maybe. Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, so there's just a couple of the other ones I have. Yeah, I mean, I sort of was buying everything, and then when I figured out what I liked, I narrowed it down, and then I went after mid-grade Heaths with a smattering of a few other ones, and I've probably got almost a complete war collection for what I want, but I do want a War 11, but it's escaped me because I don't want to pay $2,000 for like a VG Plus.
This is the other guy, Grandinetti.
Grandinetti.
Grandinetti's good.
But
really
that's
nice.
just one guy who did it. I know Russ Heath did great tone.
And
but I think he did him after, because what year is that? 19.
Obviously, Joe Kubert too.
Joe Kubert. Yep.
This is I think late 50s, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know
I
who did some other
hear-
pretty good ones that's really good is Jerry Robinson. His are very realistic. They're not
This
like
is-
over the top. They're very realistic Jerry Robinson war covers.
This is Gray Tone by Russ Heath.
There's a war cover. It's gray toned as well. It's probably
There's
Russ
another
Heath,
one there.
that has like a dog on it. You guys know what I'm talking about? There's like it's a war cover, but it also has like a dog.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
It's like a snipe. He has like a snipe. I can see it in my head. I don't know the.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head which. There's a couple with dogs on it. Those I don't go for though, Mike, because they have code stamps on them. I'm just looking for pre-code stuff.
Well, I showed a Russ Heath Gray Tone, but I know it had that stamp in it, which it's the stamp of death according. Well, show that battle, and I see this one. Well, not really. One's a sergeant and sniping. The other one's. Yep.
Yeah,
Good.
similar. So yeah, look, this is a genre that has phenomenal art and phenomenal tension on the covers and just epic scenes. Some of them are very evocative, like this one. They don't all have action to be great. This one is a gallery painting, and it's just phenomenally done, as opposed to something like this, which you can. It's a loud cover. I mean, there's a ton of action on it. And you know, this one has the tension and a dark side to it with the hand in the rubble, and it's just such a varied genre. I think it's underappreciated, and the art is phenomenal. I don't know, man. Once I discovered it, I just loved it, and so that's my war collection. I had a couple other ones I didn't pull out, but I mean that's
a good point, Sean. I forgot about that. Reed Crandall did all the early GI combat.
Yeah, I would say go look at Sean's Instagram if you want to see an extensive
great pairing of bottles
from Golden Age, from World War II to Atom Age into Silver Age. He's got pretty much everything. So he was the one that inspired me. He actually posted. All right, so here's what got me started in this genre. I knew they sort of existed. I never gave them a second look until Sean posted his copy of this. And I really looked at it, and I was like, wow, that is phenomenal. I need to get that. And so I think I even talked to him, and he was showing me some other ones, or I looked at some other ones he had, and I started researching it, and I discovered that this is awesome stuff. And then I really got into it, and I just dove headfirst into it. And then at this point, I'm pared down. I know what I like, and there's only a couple more that I really want. And War 11, man. War 11 is a freaking tough one because it's so pricey. I don't want to pay that much for a VG+. Foxhole 1 eluded me for a while, but I was able to get a nice copy of that from Golden Age Guru, actually.
So Sean was your drug dealer. He got you into the war books, and then now
got him his fix. Call that giving him his early fix.
Pretty much.
So here's a question, like as far as genres getting popular, whatever. I keep thinking that the actual photo westerns of the 50s and 40s are going to catch on. So, no, I'm being sarcastic.
No, don't be, because honest to God, it's just an inevitable time. Crime is another one. I honestly believe that crime, then war, then western, and maybe not photo covers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hey, everyone's got their thing, man, and I think there isn't,
westerns are really good. Some of these,
I think some of the westerns are all right. I don't
really well.
I don't know.
We did a show on that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you watch a heritage auction all the way through, like instead of watching a movie, just watch the heritage auction all night on a Sunday.
Yeah.
When they get through the stuff that you know and like, they have all that other stuff that's just like, to us, seemingly filler. Watch what some of them sell for. Some of the Dell Westerns, and some of the other stuff that we would overlook. There are collectors out there paying. I mean, those things go for good money, and they're on heritage auction every week, and they sell good. I mean, there are collectors of this stuff out there. I don't know any, but they're buying them off of heritage.
Even the photo, even like the photo covers.
Yes, dude, the photo covers, man. The Roy Rogers stuff.
No kidding.
Yeah, man.
It always seems like you go to cons and there'd be like a box of the photo covers. You have like it's like,
I mean, they're usually nice high grades, but they sell pretty good. So somebody's collecting them. I tend to think maybe it's older collectors who have a nostalgia for the shows when they were young, because most of them are based on TV shows or serials from the 40s and 50s. yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so much stuff out there, and whatever you find, there's a group of people into it.
Yep, probably not that anyone cares on here, but I'll tell you, like it's not really golden age. But if I had a type of book, you mentioned Dell, that I would probably buy just because I'm a nerd that way, would be some of those like the older Star Trek, you know. So
yeah.
Oh, I told you I used to have
Yeah.
the whole run of Dark Shadows
Yeah,
and
it's-
Boris Karloff, man.
yeah, I would think some of, and I think I did see on Heritage like some of those books were pricier than I thought that they would be.
Let me show you one I'm watching on eBay. It's just sort of off the wall book, but I think it's so cool. If somebody wants to buy it, I'm not gonna have heartburn over it because I haven't yet bought it. But it's a high grade copy. It's a raw, and I just think this cover is just so dope. It's the Occult Files of Dr. Spectre. Check this thing out, man.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, so that is neat.
It almost has like a Sinbad feel to it. It's like a painted cover almost. It's got a girl tied up down here in the graveyard. And I guess that's Dr. Spectre. I know nothing about this. I just came across it, and I went and searched for a high grade copy, and there is one, and it's not that expensive. And the colors and the detail, it's just, man, I just think that's so cool. It's a gold key. I don't know anything about it. What is this? Number 7, 1974. It's not even golden age. Yeah, I don't know. That's cool, right?
Yeah, I think it's kind of neat. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, even the dude's name is cool, Dr. Spectre. Yeah, that's cool. So, I mean, there's random stuff I like that's way outside of anything else I collect.
Yeah, we won't have time tonight, but I like to think in like maybe with some of the future shows to do a show on just all of the, I don't call it like esoteric or just off the wall books that are out there that you just don't see, that just aren't, that are really cool, but maybe they are from publishers that didn't produce a lot, or just books you never see. That you could do a whole show on just books that are out there. That
here's that one Spectre cover I was talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's like coming up with yep. Yeah,
he's like coming out of the steam off the ship and grabbing this plane, and there's another one he's trashed. This one's on eBay. I'm not buying an 85 white pager, but I mean, I guess I could maybe try to get it, but $9,500 or best offer. I don't need a $10,000 more fun. You know what I mean?
I've been there.
There's another one, 7.5, same seller. Towering over the buildings. That's cool.
I'm still waiting to find out for sure when are they doing the Spectre anthology. I mean, they talked about it about 2 months ago. It was slightly delayed, but it's supposed to be this year. So let me look at that up because I know.
Yeah, it's a good, more fun.
You're gonna want it because you get every Golden Age cover and book he's in. And again, it's an omnibus, but it is what it is.
This is on my comic shop. This is not bad. It's a 3.5 creamed off white. The eBay price is $22.50. It's not bright white. It doesn't look like, but that's not bad. I mean, it's probably cheap. It's obviously cheaper on their site. What is that? More Fun 48. That's not a bad price if anybody's looking for that.
Share my screen real quick. These are some of my favorite war covers. I love that one.
Oh yeah, I used to have a copy of that.
Ezra, don't worry about it. We're going more on some more.
Yeah, that's a Russ Heath.
And
I bid on one of this book once. I tried to buy. Yeah, I was.
It's Kind of War, right? Kind of War.
The Russia. Yeah.
Well, that's like a PCH book.
yeah. But
I mean, it's a snow cover and a war cover.
Yeah.
That's a Bill Everett. That's a great book. I've never owned that book, and I've always wanted one.
Yeah, again, as we say, it's tough. I don't know. It's a tougher one to pick up.
And then I love these.
Showed up. Let me grab the other ones.
I love these Frazetta ones.
I'm not familiar with that one. The Blazing Combat. I'm not. Oh, is it it's an illustrative? Okay.
Oh, it's a magazine, but still, it's a comic. It's a comic.
Yeah, that's a good title.
And he did three of these that are just, look at that. It's amazing. It's so good. And then one more. Yeah, that one. You've probably seen that one.
Yeah, I got 4 more. You want to see the rest of my war collection?
So
I've only got 4 more. I'll show you the other 4 I've got. Oh, we lost JD. Give him a minute so he can make me big. Unless he just got tired of the war, he's like, fuck it, I'm out. I'll re-show these if he comes back and makes me big. But this one is a Russ Heath cover, Battlefield 5.
Don't let your battery die.
Oh, go ahead and make me big, JD. I'll show you the rest of my
Sorry
war
about
collection.
I apologize about that. My battery, I didn't realize it was blinking. I had the plug here, but I knocked it out.
This is a Russ Heath orange cover, Mike.
Yeah.
Into the Jaws of Death. Pretty good. This is sort of an impulse buy. I'm not married to this one. I probably would move it. I don't even know what I paid, not much, but I don't know why I bought it, but it's cool. It's not something I would really keep forever, though, but whatever. It's in my collection right now. Here's another orange cover, War 26.
Oh, there you go. See, those go together.
All right, well, this is Russ Heath also. This one has my favorite Russ Heath background, too. All the stuff in the background on this one is awesome.
Not bad.
On this side,
almost Schomburg.
Between the legs, and then on the other side here, the bridge. Great explosion. Look how good that explosion is, man. And then the tank is awesome. We got some planes up top. These early 50s jets. Bayonet coming at you. Orange cover. So yeah, there you go. War 26, 1954, Russ Heath. Another bright yellow 1911 cover.
That's a color in a background you don't see, whatever that is. That kind of, yeah.
Cool layout too, because the guy's in front, and then there's a collage around him of battle scene.
Yeah, that's a lighting that you don't see.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. This is a Russ Heath too. There's only 4 issues of this, or at least 4 that are pre-code, I think, only. But this is my favorite one, so that's why I picked this up. Yeah, this one has a nice bright yellow cover to it. I really think it looks a lot better than a 4.0. I'm not sure why this one got a 4.0, honestly.
Yeah, it's like he's like angry or in pain, or he ate Taco Bell. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I like he's got a nice 1911 too.
Yeah.
Nice. I was gonna say that's not the worst 1911.
Yeah, so this is a pretty cool one. That's a Russ Heath. And then I think this is another Russ Heath here. Yeah, I bought this one for under $100. Yeah, it's an old CBCS creaky, crappy case, but it's Battle 37, another evocative cover by Russ Heath. 5.0 white pager. These guys are about to get executed, and buddies are coming to save the day.
So here's in those Atlas runs, is it very similar? Like again, like is it very tough to find white pages and higher grades in that Atlas? It does seem like a lot of those books. I don't see too many that. I mean, again, I know it makes sense. You don't see too many books in any run that are high grade.
Yeah, is it less than other Golden Age?
Yeah. I just didn't know the paper quality in those runs as well. I didn't know if they were.
No, I don't know. I think most of the ones I have are off white to white, and then I actually have 2 white pagers.
Okay.
I think the paper quality is not too difficult to find good. I don't even think I have any creamed off white. They're all off white or better.
Okay.
And I just bought the book, and I didn't worry about the page quality, and so coincidentally, they're just all off white or better. So I feel like they have decent page quality on these.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious.
But yeah, that's my whole entire war collection. It's like 12 books, something like that.
Nice.
With the Foxhole 1. The Foxhole 1 is probably like the best one I have, and then Battlefield 26 is probably like my other.
Everybody be jealous.
Yeah, I remember. I love that cover too. Battleground 13.
Ezra. I could tell you this story about this book, The Mystic 18, 4 times. I even went to go buy the cover, and then I took it, and then who was it who bought it? Was it Lee? Lee bought the cover for $100 off a guy.
Yeah. I didn't see the Battlefield.
What do you mean the cover?
Just the cover of Mystic.
Oh,
18.
okay. I thought you
I
meant
had
the
it sell.
OG.
He wanted,
OG art.
he wanted like 120 or 150. I went to go try to negotiate a more fun book for Lewis. And then I come back and I see it in Lee's booth at the end of the day.
Here's
That's
one more pair.
I like your Silver Surfer 4, but mine's better.
Yeah.
Mine's down there too.
Your office is looking nice now.
It's getting there. Wait till you see what I'm going to put there. You're going to make fun of me. I don't care.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I have
Lewis will make fun of me.
I have a trio.
I'll tell you this, Sean,
Show us the trio.
Sean would do a show from what I'm going to have there. It matches Sean's Instagram page. Its pairing is just outstanding.
I keep saying I need to do this. My Instagram page has nothing. I always jokingly refer as I'm like the faceless stalker out there, only because I need to actually put something on my Instagram.
I'm required to put something once a month, and that's about the most I've done.
I don't have anything. Yeah, mine is just my name. So
here, JD, this for you. Ushima black battle covers.
Yeah.
Okay, you got that one.
That's a 9.2 white pager.
You got it, Joe Silver Submariner 8. I want to see it.
I've got
Only one has Blue-Eyed Ben Grimm, though.
Avengers Annual 2, 8.0 off-white
That one.
And last but not least, I have Silver Surfer 4, 9.2.
Yeah.
The fact that you have a 9.2 now aggravates me. Now, I've had my book for 30 years. Actually, it's 30 years in June. I've had it for 30 years. And it sits right there. It's the first book I ever got slabbed. And it only got a 7.5, and I got it slabbed. It's Generation 2 slab. And the only reason is I'm going to show you how good this thing looks.
I got this 20 years ago for $35.
I paid 40 for mine, dude.
Yeah, I paid a bit more for this one. I got this one off Shortboxed app. And I guess it was fair market value at the time, but when I saw it, I just
I'm going to show you each. Before I show the grade, I'm going to show each and every part of it. Oh, let me just put it on the big screen. Right? Not a crease. Perfect spine.
Yeah, nice.
You know it's tough. Really perfect. Really nice. Nothing wrong except right at that corner. You see that little line down there?
Oh, yeah.
That's where I picked up the book.
Oh.
Because there was no such thing as slabs back then, and that's me trying to put it in, and you're going to get a kick out of this. I tried putting it in a top loader. And the back of it, white pages.
Oh.
what is that? I don't keep up with the Silver
Complete
Age.
white page book, completely white page, beautiful. This book was near mint when I got it. But an 18-year-old kid, I mean, literally, it's look at. I mean, look at if you know how these spines are, they roll.
Oh yeah.
This no roll.
Not that I can't maybe go look it up, but like I don't pay attention to the Silver Age market. But what is that book now in high grade? Say like a 9.24, 9.6, 9.8. What is that book? I don't know.
9.4 is like
3, 2 and change.
no, a 9.4 of a Silver Surfer 4 is probably like 8,000 or 9,000.
Oh,
Wow,
boy,
okay.
I gotta pay attention.
9.2 is like 4,500. 9.6, I don't even know. 9.6, 9.8 are 5 digits easy.
So I got this at the same time. This is my second favorite book of the run, not the first one, number 2. Because I like the Badoon. If you don't know who the Badoon is, this is like the bad version of the Scrolls, right?
I love that cover.
This is so much better than 1. I mean, 1 is good, but he's by himself. I like Battle Cup.
I just like the black in one.
Yeah, this one here, when I got this grade as an 8, I was going to punch him in the face. And the reason why is there's a dot there, and I don't know what it is. It's right next to the building. And it looks like production to me. because it's on the inside. That's the. Other than that, I was like, "There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with this book." And it says white pages like there, and I got an 8, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Who do I got to? It's perfect. Not a mark on the spine at all. Not a mark anywhere on this thing, other than that stupid dot right there. Other than that, another dot. It's all whatever. These two are my favorite of the Silver Surfer run. And what's really cool is I'll see if I can. You can see the Silver Surfer 2 poster there. That's signed by John Buscema. Got him to sign that in 1998 at the Westchester County Center. And below those are 2 cards that came in the Skybox the same year, and they were $10 a piece. And the poster with that and the Avengers one that he did, Avengers 58, also signed by him, because you didn't give people books in the 90s to sign. You wouldn't do it. In a million years, they wouldn't sign the cover. They never signed the cover.
They was signing interior page.
Only Stan Lee signed the cover. Nobody was signing the covers. They'd open the page and sign it on the inside.
Yeah.
I'll be dead honest with you. It's the way it was. And the first person I ever saw sign the cover was Stan Lee, and he was signing covers left and right. And I'm like, that's crazy.
I don't know. Tim Vigil would sign my covers in the 90s.
The first,
he doesn't count, right?
Doctor Strange cover is signed on the cover by him, but it's not. Oh, here, it's right here. So I don't know what year this was, but this was the first in-person signing. Like, I had sketches come, this is the first in-person signing I ever had done.
Oh, that's a great cover.
Yeah. It's actually a wraparound, which sucks that you can't show it. The reason I don't, because someone says, well, why don't you get that slabbed? I'm like, well, how am I supposed to, other than the pictures I have, This goes in right some corner down here with the original art. And on the other side, there's some Frankenstein stuff. But this was it. Where is this cover? I've never seen that sell either. Not that I could afford it, but.
Show me this.
Hang on.
This is one of the first ever I've got signed on the cover, and he was such a nice guy. He was like, all right, because I had the whole series, and I had never done on the cover before, but he's like, all right, make sure he laid them out like separately so that they weren't touching the ink, and he was like, make sure these dry because it could smudge real easy. And
Man, that's a great signature placement.
One of the nicest guys ever.
That looks like it's part of the cover. That's so good.
Great book, yeah.
Here's one I pulled out that looks like reminds me of the New Adventures and the More Funds that we were talking about with like fighting the animals. 1937 book.
Ooh, I like that.
Tip Top.
Oh, that's nice. The Tip Top. I'm putting you on the big screen for that one.
Yeah, Tarzan fighting. Well, they're calling it a jungle dog, but it looks like a hyena to me. Not perfect copy, but I mean, 1937. Jesus, black banner up top, pretty white area on the cover, which is what sold me on it. A little green fading on the edge, but not bad.
It's about ready to be bit in the ass, it looks like.
Staple's not rusty at all. I don't know why. That's just a shadow or something, but.
Nice.
There's been a couple of tip tops that I kind of like that I've almost been on.
Yeah, it's got Buck Jones advertising for Daisy Rifles on the back.
You want to know another good
Oh,
cover?
there's a photo back cover for you.
Nice.
Man, look at this. You can get
Another
the
combo?
Daisy
Another combo?
450.
You want to have?
What grade is that?
So don't start with me.
I was just curious. Yeah, I just bought an 8.0 white pager not long ago.
Yeah, this is I don't know why. Whatever. I had the book for a while in a poly bag. So I'm not gonna. I don't know. But if you wanted a good one, the only other one I'd ever slab is this is the Western Pen collection of this.
Oh yeah, that's a real good book.
So I've got the pedigree, which this is Western Pen. I definitely can get this cracked out and pressed, and probably get a bump because it's not any higher than, in my opinion, it's not any higher than it is. But someone said this paper is really tough to get in high. It's a Defenders. It's literally my one of my birthday books. Like literally came out when I was born. And these two are good. There are 4 other ones with them fighting each other during this way after this. Sorry, after this. Hulk 255, Thor 385. If you want to get them slabbed, you're going down the road of, oh, it's a $5 book or a $10 book. I'm going to get slabbed. I'm not going to do it. I have them as well. I used to display them all together when they were all raw. But I have a whole box of Western pens I want to send in CGC. That's what I'm going to do. Get all that, switch all my get all my pedigree labels on everything because I've got, I don't know, about 50 or so of the Western pen collection, and a lot of the keys too. But this is a great combo to do.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I got 2 more signatures.
You don't want me showing signatures. Go ahead.
You'll love them. Another one of these.
Oh, yeah, the cover.
So good. And then my favorite of his covers.
Oh yeah, that one's tough.
Right there.
I actually had
back when all that was free. He signed all that for free.
I actually had a guy do a cover homage of that well, don't do Simonson because you're gonna make me bring out Simonson.
Look at that. That's pretty good. It's hard to see though. I should have done it in black.
There's a dinosaur. Do you see the Brontosaurus?
Yeah.
That's the story of his signature. It's the shape.
Black would be better. But back in the day when it was free though. I didn't think to do 300.
You're breaking the rules.
They'd sign right there.
Marlon Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's cool.
And my friends always complain that instead of more Spider-Mans, I did the whole run of his because I was more into Batman. So I got all his detectives signed.
You know,
at one point, when people would come up to those guys with stacks like this.
At one point, I worked on a set of getting all of the Todd McFarlane Batman covers, and there's only 5.
Yeah,
they're good.
It's a cool little set, 5 Batman.
He didn't suck.
McFarlane Batman covers. There's 2 or 3 back to back in that last run he showed, and then there's that Batman was it 427 or something? I can't even remember.
Yeah, it's Detective Comics 427 when he's writing a
Batman 423 is another one, and then he did a Spawn Batman.
No, that's right
too. Yeah, there you go. Those 3: Spawn Batman and Batman 423.
Okay, I'm going to go signature now just because I can. That's the highest grade. No longer single highest, which makes no sense because he's been passed away. This coming soon to be 5 years.
Well, it was probably sitting at CCS and CGC for 2 years.
That's a good point. These are the 2 highest graded signature signed Bernie Wrightson Swamp Thing of theirs.
All I have is issue 1. It's not signed, but.
Yep.
Good stuff.
I love my Wrightson stuff, so. We have to do our Bernie Wrightson tribute show. When is that coming up? Hang on. We do that every year.
Diaz was giving me advice when I bought this one.
Hang on, sorry. That showed up.
Oh yeah, that's a classic, man. That's really good.
Yeah, that's been homaged enough times to where it's almost Spider-Man 3.
And I like the black. Can't really tell what the hell it says, but
yeah, I know. But you know, he brought the darkness back to DC Comics.
Yeah.
With
Frank.
Yeah.
He also did it with Daredevil.
I was going to say, if you want to talk about a guy who did something, Daredevil. Gene Colan did his run, and it's pretty good. And then, Romita, then Colan. it went through this downward death spiral for years until whatever number it was, 158, I guess, or 157, whatever. The Miller, he put in, it became the Man Without Fear. That run, that storyline, is one of the, like, outside of Alan Moore and a few other ones, the best Marvel run of a book that there is that Daredevil, the Man Without Fear run.
That's a pretty good one.
Which is the Frank Miller of it, because he was both writer and artist. So
yeah, I think it was like 158 to 186 or something was the Miller run.
Yeah,
that's up there. That's a really good.
It's the introduction of Elektra. It's actually the introduction of not Bullseye, but the evilness of Bullseye, I should say. Well, the fact that he became a real villain all of a sudden when he was
that run
an afterthought early on in his career,
Yeah, and Klaus Janson did a good job of continuing sort of.
He was the best inker of the bunch.
Legacy of Miller after that, because Klaus Janson after it was nice and continuous. It was a good run.
Yeah, when Daredevil starts carrying a firearm, that happens with the Klaus Janson run because he just can't compete anymore and that sort of thing. I mean, there's some great. Daredevil's one of those that are you get lucky when you catch a great run. There aren't that many great runs of certain characters. We've been lucky recently with Thor, God of Thunder, and the Simonson run, and there's some characters that just didn't have good runs. I think the best writers were always the Spider-Man early writers up until the late 90s, the X-Men writers but there are some comic book heroes that everybody loves that, like, because of the movies, and they're like, he's such a great one. I'm like, did you read any of them?
Yeah, the X-Men from late 70s to like mid 80s.
Claremont Byrne run.
Epic run of comics. One of the best runs of any comic ever.
Yeah, I mean, I always throw Swamp Thing, Alan Moore Swamp Thing as number one for reading and like the whole conglomeration. That's one. Two would probably be for me personally, and this is a modern thing, but Thor, God of Thunder, Jason Aaron, Assad Ribic. That's the first Daredevil Frank Miller right there.
I remember this used to be $50, like the top dog on my local comic shop's wall books.
Oh, really?
The big $50.
It is great. Cool. I mean, it literally starts. Once he starts the Man Without Fear run, he becomes gritty again and becomes there. He was a joke for years.
Yeah, you need to get Spectacular Spider-Man 27, I think.
I got him.
Yeah, that's the first actual drawing of Daredevil by him.
Check out this signature, though. This is a great signature.
Bill Sienkiewicz.
Yeah.
I have that book signed by him, too. I have that whole run. I have that entire run. I love that run.
It's like he's holding it.
As elected so many times.
She's like holding his signature. It's pretty awesome.
She can do it, too. She should do it. She's probably watching right now like I'm not doing Elektra.
All right, well, guys, I got to get up.
Yep. Lewis,
pretty late on the East Coast.
Yep. Well, thanks everybody for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed our run. Let me look at the comments one last bit.
Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Yes, they are, Sean.
We go off like this when we don't do the show very often because we're like,
we're just so happy to hang out with each other again.
We love comics.
Yep.
Yeah, good show, guys, and thanks for everybody being here in chat.
And thank you all for being a friend. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. And don't forget, check out the Collector Summit if you're interested in going. You're going to hang out with us and a bunch of other guys that are just going down rabbit holes in their life or have been going down deeper and deeper and deeper. It's a lot of fun. So,
all right, later, guys.
Take care.
See everybody.
Thank you for being